Hey everybody, Rob from Karma Comic Chameleon. Today, we're looking at a couple of I Don't Work Here Lady stories. First one, Karen tries to order pizza from me while I am eating pizza myself, then refuses to believe I don't work there. Let's jump right in. Hit that subscribe button for more daily Reddit stories. Hi Reddit, this is my first ever post, and I felt like this story was good enough to post here. For context, I work at a chain bakery that has a bright blue polo shirt and khaki colored pants as the uniform, with the bakery's logo embroidered on one of the sleeves. Coming home from work on the bus, there's a small plaza at the stop before mine that has some pretty bomb pizza, and every once in a while I'll stop by the plaza to grab some and walk the rest of the way home. The uniform there is a fire truck red t-shirt with the logo completely covering the back and black pants. If someone can tell me how Karen got this mixed up, I would love to know. Anyway, here's the story. On this great day, I was running on 3 to 4 hours sleep, a cheese croissant and a coffee, had just gotten off an 8 to 3 shift and hadn't had time to grab lunch while on break. So suffice to say, I was hungry. Hungry enough that I didn't even care that I was still in my work uniform. I just wanted some food pronto. So I stopped by the pizza parlor, grabbed a slice, some Mountain Dew, and a cookie for the road, and sat down a happy customer. I had my headphones in and was scrolling through my phone while I ate when the staff disappeared behind the counter. No biggie. About a minute later, Karen walks in. It was just me and the place at the time, and the staff was still in the kitchen. The most attention I gave her was a quick glance before looking back to my phone and taking another sip of my pop. I assumed she would just go up to the counter and order, you know, like a normal person, but I assumed wrong. Before I knew it, she was standing right beside my table and giving me that good old disapproving stare only Karens are capable of. This was our interaction as follows. Taking an earbud out and lowering my volume. Can I help you? Hi, can I get a... Starts listing her order. Catching on pretty quickly. Oh, sorry, but I don't work here. Pauses, as if this information was too large of a worldview shift for her to process, and in the end, her brain just could not compute. First, don't interrupt me, that was very rude. Second, that's a uniform? This is an establishment. I know you work here, so don't give me that attitude. The logic of this Karen made my own brain short circuit, and I guess it showed on my face, cause the next thing I knew, her jaw dropped in shock, and she was railing me on my horrendous work ethic and berating me over wearing headphones on the job and eating all the product that's meant for the customers. She even went as far as to say that I'd made a huge mistake as she was a regular and had more than enough leeway to get me fired. Side note, if she was a regular, she would have known what the uniform looked like. Shake my head. It was around this point that I remembered the logo on my sleeve and just wordlessly turned my arm and pointed at it. Karen stops yelling long enough to give it a proper look, and I could see the color just drain from her face. I'm a petty little shit though, so to rub salt in the wound, I tacked on a not so friendly, see that, company name. What was this place called again? Then, not 2 seconds later, an actual staff member shows up behind Karen and asks if there's a problem. I thought that was the end of it. Yes, there's a problem. Your coworker was extremely rude to me. Yep, that's right. Karen was still insisting that I work there. Pizza girl looks at me and recognizes me as the girl she just served. Ma'am, she doesn't work here. Don't lie to me. I want to see a manager. Pizza girl goes to get her manager. All the while, Karen is giving me the snobbiest death glare I've ever gotten in my life. I just sighed and took another sip of my pop. Then, Pizza girl and her manager come back out. Hi, what's the problem here? That girl refused to take my order and was extremely rude to me. You need to discipline her. Same as Pizza girl, looks at me and knows I don't work for her. She doesn't work here, ma'am, but I can take your order if you like. Finally, Karen leaves me alone and follows the manager to place her order. I could hear her complaining about me though, so I started packing up my things to eat my pizza at home and in peace. Pizza girl stopped me though, handing me a takeout bag with another slice, garlic dip, and a cookie. She said it was both an apology for having to deal with Karen and a thank you for being one of their nicer regulars. Still puts a smile on my face, and this was yesterday. On my way out though, I heard Karen demanding a free pizza. I hope those guys turned out okay. Anyway, thank you for reading. So Karen's demanding a free pizza because she misidentified a regular customer as an employee. I really hope the employees don't give in to that. It was really nice of them, however, to treat OP for going through that and also for being a regular customer. Pretty cool. On to our second story. A single digit makes all the difference. Let's jump right in. I'm in the military. I have been stationed in quite a few different places around the US and the world. Because of that, I have a cell phone number that is out of area and use it for just about everything. Between that and the occasional work-issued phone, I've never felt the need to have a dedicated landline. However, with my most recent residence, the company I get my internet and cable through had a plan set up where every service came individually, or you could get a bundled box that had cable, internet, and phone. However, there was no cable and internet only option. Since the phone included bundle was cheaper than a la carte, I said hell with it, might as well. I even went ahead and got a cheapo phone and plugged it in. That was my first mistake. Apparently, this phone number was one number different from a local Domino's pizza place. Fortunately, I didn't have the company put my number on the commercial instead of their own problem we often see here, but I did have one person who managed to call me a few times, yes, more than once, instead of calling the pizza place. I can only guess that she had tried to program it into a contact entry and only ever went back to the contact each time rather than dialing it outright. The first time the phone rang, I of course picked it up, curious as to who would be trying to call me on a number I hadn't actually given to anyone. That was my second mistake. The conversation should have been simple. Sorry, you have the wrong number. Oh, my bad. Click. Were it so easy. Given that I'm here now posting this story, we all know that's not what happened. Call number 1. Hello? That's no way to answer the phone for a restaurant. You should identify yourself and your company when you pick up. But this isn't a restaurant, this is my home line. Don't lie to me. Now take my order. It's... Click. I hung up. Immediately, she called back. Call 2. Hello? Still with this? What's wrong with you? Oh, really now? She opened the door of holery, so I'm more than happy to walk through it. Mentally cracking my thought knuckles, I engaged my finer f***ery side, affecting a heavy twang. I said, Hank's Roadkill Cafe, you kill it, we grill it. This is Hank Jr. speaking. How may I help you? A few seconds of silence, then, what on earth are you talking about? I just want to order some pizza. That's gonna be a bit of an issue, hun, seeing as how there ain't no pizzas running across the road for you to hit. How we gonna grill up a dead pizza when there ain't no such thing? This is extremely unprofessional. Let me speak to your manager. Hank, hey Hank, get your ass over here. Then I hung up, thinking that would be the end of it. Surely, no one would think that that performance was a valid phone number for a pizza place. That was my third mistake. About 5 minutes later, she called back. Recognizing the number, I geared up for f***ery round 2. Call 3. Alfredo's Pizza Cafe, this is Mike. How may I help you? Wait, I thought this was Domino's. No, this location used to be a Domino's, but it was bought by Alfredo. Our prices are a bit more expensive, but what would you rather have? A medium amount of good pizza or all you can eat of pretty good pizza? What can I say? I'm a diehard The Office fan. I'll tell you what I want to order. Stop trying to upsell me on things I don't need. She proceeded to launch into a rather lengthy delivery order with more than a few details, none of which I wrote down as I gave uh-huhs and gotchas throughout. Okay, I've run that all up, and fortunately for you, we're running a special. Half off for any order up to 8 pizzas. The total comes out to $63.50. What? That's so much more expensive than Domino's would charge, and that's half off? Yes, ma'am, but it's the best pizza in the city according to the Scranton Times. Whatever, just get it here ASAP. She yelled her address at me, then hung up without even letting me try to confirm. 2 hours later, the number pops up on the phone. I mentally prepare myself for yet another round in the ring with this mental lightweight. Call 4. Alfredo's Pizza Cafe, this is my... sounding more like a banshee crossed with a diesel engine, as she was clearly a lifelong smoker doing her best to yell, "Where is my pizza?" "Oh dear, I'm sorry, our delivery driver wasn't able to make it out to you. While he was out on the run delivering an order at another address, he was held hostage by a strange group of people in a small business park who were having an after-hours office party. By the time he was let out and got back to his car, your pizza was cold and he was terribly traumatized, so we gave him the rest of the night off. Also, this was never a restaurant number, like I said from the very start." "What do you mean this isn't a restaurant? You said you were and took my order." "Yeah, about that. I lied." I cackled with fake maniacal laughter, which only served to enrage her more. Incomprehensible nonsense punctuated by the word manager at least a couple times. "Lady, listen, this isn't a pizza place, it's a home number, and I'm done with you." I hung up and disconnected the phone from the box. The cable system would pop up a notice anytime someone called the line if you were watching TV with the number that was calling, and I got at least a dozen more calls from her that night, plus 2 more the following night. After that, it stopped. Fast forward 2 weeks, my wife and I were in the mood for some pizza, so I suggested picking up from that Domino's. In the intervening weeks, I had done some searching online and found the Domino's with the 1 number difference that was the partial cause of that fun-filled evening, and it seemed like as good a candidate as any to get our dinner for the night. I called the order in as I left work and stopped by to pick it up on my way home. As I was at the register waiting for it to finish in the oven, I recounted the story of what had happened to the cashier. She was floored. The look on her face was priceless. She explained to me that Karen had come into the location like a bat out of hell, looking to cause all sorts of shit, thinking they were the ones who had done this to her. She refused to listen to anyone explain that they had no idea what she was talking about, not even the manager, and eventually had to be removed from the location by cops and was served with a trespass order. Fortunately, I have not received any subsequent calls from Karen. All told, it was well worth the time I spent on the phone with her. OP, you are quite literally my hero right now. I would love to hear the recordings of those phone calls. Oh my gosh, they would be amazing. I want to thank both of the OPs for posting their stories to the I Don't Work Here Lady subreddit. You can visit them both at the links in the description below. Please go there and give them an upvote. That's gonna be a bit of an issue, hun, seeing as how there ain't no pizzas running across that road for you to hit. Once again, this is Rob from Karma Comic Chameleon saying thanks for watching. Y'all better hit that subscribe button and like button and pass it on to your brother Jim Bob. Thank you.